We're going to talk briefly about strategy, which is this module. Now, Ron, I know what strategy is, right? But can you tell me what it really is?
Ooh, what it really is. Okay. Okay. There's hundreds of books on strategy, and I think that's the problem. It's been made way, way too complex. In its simplicity and in its core, it is we're here now, and we want to get to an endpoint. And how do we get there? And the problem, I think, with a lot of business people is that they don't even know where they are. They most definitely haven't defined the endpoint, which is where do we want to get to. If you haven't defined an endpoint, it becomes very, very difficult to devise any type of strategy. And strategy, in effect, is just a road plan that gives you the steps to take to get to that endpoint, and then allocate the resources to make that happen.
You know, again, meeting a lot of the people on Small Business Can, you get a sense that they're so involved in their businesses, on you know, the day-to-day running and the tactical aspect of the business, that it's very hard to step away and see the wood from the trees and really think about strategy. You know, is there any tips or any techniques for doing that?
Yeah, buy a hammock and sit in a hammock for 2 days and start thinking about your business, rather than being in your business. Underneath here again in the PDF you will find a tool set which will give you the tools to devise a strategy on one page, and one of the key aspects is actually the sort of formulating a vision for your company 10-15 years in the future, and being very clear on what the purpose of your company is. Now, so you have a long-term perspective now, and now you need to make it happen. And then there's two other things you need to do, which is setting targets. And that's not setting targets on an annual basis, that's almost setting targets on a weekly, monthly basis. Now, it's difficult to do, it's a pain in the neck because you're almost making yourself accountable, but if you want to move your company forward, you set yourself targets every week, every month. And then the other thing, and that's part of sort of the storytelling of the strategy, because you need to communicate this as well, which is about what are sort of the key milestones in the next 2 or 3 years you want to achieve, which are sort of the things that you would write a press release about. It are the things that you're going to be very, very proud of once you've achieved them, and it are the things that are absolutely critical to move the company forward. Okay.
There's one other good piece of advice that I got from a guy who came onto Small Business Can in the early days. And we were just having a chat, and I asked him how is he using it. And he says one of the great uses he's after getting at the site is he was able to connect with other CEOs from around the country in different sectors and create a little ad hoc advisory group for his business. He says these were the guys that, you know, he could talk to about real business issues that he couldn't discuss with his family because they'd be worried, couldn't discuss with his board because they'd be even more worried, you know, if there was any doubts in this guy's mind, because you always have to show, you know, I know where I'm going. And he couldn't discuss it with his management team. So he's used Small Business Can to create a little advisory group, and he says they all get together maybe every couple of months, and they discuss strategy, and they discuss some of the business problems, and they share ideas and learning from their various industries. So again, it's one way of the practical use of using our site, and maybe, you know, using other networks to try and build a little strategy group who are guys not necessarily in your industry, they're not your competitors, and you can discuss, you know, you can see the wood from the trees with these guys.
And just one last point, because we've read lots and lots of business plans. Strategy is the most underestimated part of business planning. You won't find it in a business plan. I think it's hard time that you start writing it down very, very specifically where you want to go and how you're going to get there.
Now, as you well know, the strategy for Small Business Can has been clear from the very start. We had a vision, we had a roadmap, and you can see it's working brilliantly.